Welcome back. Summer is quickly approaching, and so are everyone's travel plans. And whether you're going to your favorite destination or maybe even somewhere new, there are some new apps that can really help you plan your trip, reach your destination, and find the best things to do while you're there.
Cydni Tetro here from Women Tech Council to show us some of those must-have apps for this spring and this summer. And I must say, you dressed the part today.
Exactly.
You look very spring and summer-like. Some colorful attire here today. Tell us about it. I'm getting ready to start really planning my vacation. Right. A lot of parents and families are, and these are ways that can really, if you've got a bunch of kids, that can really help save some time.
That's right. Well, and that's the great part about technology, right, is that it can really make these experiences create a lot less friction. So you really focus on the memories. That's why we go on vacation. Focus on all the experiences. So when you're thinking about planning your trip, there's a really cool app out there called UTrip. And UTrip allows us to say, where are we going? So we asked Shelby where she was going. She produces this show. Shelby told us she's going to Vegas, and it's her first time that she's going. And one of the cool things about this application is you go and you see here on the screen, it asks you what kind of traveler you are. Are you first time, a repeat visitor? Are you going to budget? Are you luxury? Then you get to pick a bunch of your different settings. Are you a foodie? So we found out Shelby's a foodie. She wants to do a little shopping. She's going for the first time. So we took all those preferences, and from that it builds an itinerary for her based on where she'll be in regions, when places are open, places she wants to visit. And so she gets a really detailed thing. And in Shelby's case, we found, related to shopping, this really cool thing called the Container Shopping Park, which is in a little bit above the Strip in Vegas, which is a really cool experience that she might not stumble upon, but tied to her itinerary. So whether you're familiar with the place or not, you can get a really compelling itinerary based on that location, and that's a really helpful tool.
Based on your preferences. Okay, so let's talk about what we can use once we get to our destination.
Yeah, and even on the midst of getting to our destination. I don't know if you've been watching in are delayed all over the country right now.
Yeah, we've heard about that.
Exactly. And every time I show up in an airport, which is about every week, I'm always thinking about how do I be prepared to know when I should show up and what should I do. There's two apps to think about. One is called Flight Stats. Gives me really detailed flight information about where my flights are, where they're delayed, so that I can go into that deep information. And then another one is called Flight View. What I really like about Flight View is, as you can see on the screen, you can actually see the aircraft's previous flight. A lot of times flights are delayed because of the previous flight.
Right.
And so in this application, I can see previous flight, see where it came from, and then in addition to that, I can actually go in and see airport delay status, so I can go on the screen and see what's happening at given airports and all the airport delays across the country, because it's an interconnected network, and I find myself as a very frequent traveler. It allows me to say, oh, I have 2 hours because my flight's going to be delayed. I'm not going to head to the airport and waste all of that time there. So you can really manage that, especially with kids. It becomes really important to get that information. And then once you get there, there's this question of, like, how do I get around?
Yeah, now what?
So one of the things to note is, depending on where you're going, there are a whole bunch of different types of applications. There's a really cool new service that has stepped up, you know, kind of the Airbnb thing. There's an app called Turo, and Turo is just like Airbnb, but for car rentals. So people are sharing their cars. And so you can go into San Francisco, you can say your airport, and then all of a sudden you can rent someone's car. You can get a Tesla, a Porsche, or the minivan, or the truck.
Now, it's not like Uber where you don't know what you're getting. Can you actually choose the car that you're going to rent?
You choose the car that you're going to rent. They'll choose to meet you at the airport or your destination.
Wow.
And you get it usually a lot less expensive than you can for a rental car. I've got a lot of friends who have been trying that application. And then obviously all of the drive apps. So Uber, it's my go-to app in almost every city across the country. But when I was in Thailand a couple of weeks ago, their app was called Grab. And so in that country and in many destinations you go to, you actually just need to figure out what's the ride sharing service that is there. And it makes it very easy to say, I'm at this destination, pick me up, and then to worry about transportation. And in our case in Thailand, we could say we needed a 14-passenger van. So we needed a big car to pick us up, and it worked just perfectly through an app. So when you're thinking about traveling, that technology and having it on your phone when you get there makes your trips really, really easy. And then you just got to go focus on having fun.
How about that? Some really good ideas as we get ready for the vacation season. It's right around the corner, and the weather is warming up. Cydni Tetro here from Women Tech Council with some great ideas. You can check out their website, womentechcouncil.org, for more information.
And speaking of warm weather,